Hello, I am D. Bal Narasimha, Assistant Professor of Chemistry, Government Degree College, Ramanapet. Today, in this video lecture, I am going to discuss about what is spin multiplicity and Jablonski diagram. It explains about the primary process of a photochemical reaction, that is physical activities, okay, physical process of a photochemical reaction. And in that Jablonski diagram, there are two very important concepts, that is phosphorescence and fluorescence. Okay, these are the things which we are going to discuss in this video lecture. So first of all, we will discuss about spin multiplicity. What is spin multiplicity? So spin multiplicity, there are mainly there are two states of a what is that electron. Okay, if two electrons are paired up in this manner, it is called a singlet state. If electrons of a molecule are in parallel to each other, it is called as triplet state. When a molecule absorbs ultraviolet or visible light, the electrons get promoted from the ground state to the higher energy state. In the ground state, the spins of the electrons in each molecular orbital are essentially paired. Okay, in the ground state, the electrons in a molecule are paired up like this. Okay, in the higher energy state, if the spins of the electrons are paired, then it is called an excited singlet state. Even in the excited state also, if there are if the electrons are paired up like this, it is called excited singlet state. Okay, excited singlet state. On the other hand, if the spins of the electrons in the excited state are parallel, it is called as an excited triplet state. If the electrons in the excited state are parallel to each other, are called as triplet state. It is denoted by capital T. Singlet state, it is denoted by capital S. Okay, singlet state and triplet state. So sorry, if electrons are paired up like this, it is singlet state. If it is in the molecule is in ground state, it is called as S0. If the molecule is in excited state, it is called as S1. If the electrons are paired up and they are in parallel to each other, it is called as triplet state. It is also T1, T2 states are there. Okay. Then why we are discussing these things before entering into the Jablonski diagram? So before understanding Jablonski diagram, we need to know these things. Then only we will be in a position to understand what is intersystem crossing, what is internal conversion, what is singlet excited state, what is singlet ground state, what is T1, what is T2. Okay, so that's why I am discussing all these things here only. So why if the electrons are paired up like this, why it is called as singlet, why it is this pair up is called as triplet? So according to spin multiplicity principle, that is 2s plus 1. Okay, 2s plus 1. Here s is spin of electrons, total spin of resultant spin of the electrons, where in a singlet state the electrons are paired up like this. That means this is a clockwise direction, this is plus of, and this spin of this electron is minus of. So total spin is 0, plus of minus of is equal to 0. So if I put that 0 value in place of S, then I will get 1. So that's why it is called as singlet state. Okay, if the electrons are paired up like this, it is called as singlet state. Why? Because if we substitute the S value in the spin multiplicity principle, that is 2s plus 1, we get 1. So that's why it is called as singlet. So whereas in case of triplet state, the electrons are like this, they are parallel to each other, so it is plus of and it is also plus of, right? So total spin is 1, resultant spin is 1. So if I substitute that 1 in that multiplicity principle, 2 plus 1, that is 3. That's why it is called as triplet state. Okay, this is about multiplicity. Okay, and what is singlet state and what is triplet state. So now going to Jablonski diagram. Jablonski diagram basically a Jablonski diagram is an energy diagram, okay, arranged with energy on a vertical axis. Okay. It is a energy diagram, okay, arranged on a vertical axis. The energy levels can be quantitatively denoted, but most of these diagrams use energy levels schematically. The rest of the diagram is arranged into columns. Every column usually represents a specific spin multiplicity for a particular species. Okay, so these are columns S0, S1 and T1, T2. Okay, this is one column and this is another column. However, some diagrams divide energy levels within the same spin multiplicity into different columns. Within each column, horizontal lines represent eigenstates for that particular molecule. Bold horizontal lines are representations of the limits of electronic energy states. So right, okay, this diagram, from this we can explain. So these are columns. This is one column, this is one column, this is one column, this is triplet state. Okay, right. Actually in this also there are some horizontal lines representing electronic transitions, okay, and vibrations, vibrational energy levels. Okay, within each electronic energy state are multiple vibronic energy states that may be coupled within the electronic state. Okay, there are small these horizontal lines are there. Okay, in this diagram it indicates vibrational energy levels. Okay, right. Usually only a portion of these vibrational eigenstates are represented due to the massive number of possible vibrations in a molecule. Okay, there are massive number of vibrations are possible, that's why only some of the vibrations are shown in the diagram. Okay, each of these vibrational energy states can be subdivided even further into rotational energy levels. However, typical Jablonski diagrams omit such intense levels of detail. As electronic energy states increase, the difference in energy becomes continually less, eventually becoming a continuous that can be approached with classical mechanics. Additionally, as the electronic energy levels get closer together, the overlap of vibronic energy levels increases. Okay, so that's why we are simply showing this diagram. Okay, this is ground state, that is singlet ground state, because here electrons are paired up like this. So it is S2, and this is S1, first excited state ground singlet state. It is second excited singlet state, and T1 it is a triplet state. In the triplet state the electrons are paired up like this. Okay, here, okay, right, here Jablonski, a molecule in the Jablonski diagram, a molecule which is photochemically excited to the higher energy state must return to the ground state. Okay, sorry. So a molecule which is photochemically excited, a molecule which is photochemically excited, I am supplying energy. Okay, I am giving energy. So excited molecule, it excites to S1, S2, okay, and it must return to the ground state. It must return to the ground state. Here T1, okay, T1, okay. So తీసుకోవద్దు. So ground state S0, S1, S2, T1 which is having lesser energy than S1, okay, T2 it is also having lower energy than S2. So I am supplying energy in the form of radiation to a molecule. Here electrons are like this, they are paired up like this in that molecule. The molecule may be enter into S1 level by getting that energy, and S2 level, or it may return to this T2, or may return to this T1, and from this T1 it may return to the ground state, that is S0. Okay, a molecule which is photochemically excited to the higher energy state must return to the ground state. Most transitions are from S0 to S1, S0 to S1, right? So promotions to S2 and higher energy singlet states take place, but in liquids and solids only. These higher states drop very rapidly to S1 state. Okay, the energy lost when an electron drops from S2 to S1, okay, S2 to S1 is given up to the environments by collisions within the neighboring molecules. Such a process is called as an energy cascade. It has been found that the lowest vibrational level of the S1 state is the only important excited singlet state. Okay, simply it means the lowest vibrational excited state, nothing but this one. Okay, this is the important excited singlet state. Okay, that state can undergo various physical and chemical processes. The various physical pathways open to the molecule in the S1 and excited triplet states are described here. Okay, here I am S0, that means when the molecule is in ground state, I am supplying energy in the form of light. So that molecule gets excited, and it is ground state. Okay, excited molecule, and it then jumps to the S1 molecule, sorry, S1 state. Okay, and releases some form of heat in the releases energy in the form of heat, and there is a possibility of that molecule, that singlet state to excited singlet state S1 to S0, and so the excited the energy higher energy amount of energy will be released in the form of radiation, that is called fluorescence. So to illustrate it clearly, so there sorry, Jablonski diagram explains all these physical processes. When the molecule from singlet state to it excited from singlet state to excited state, singlet excited state, first excited state, okay, there are all these possibilities are there. Okay, suppose this get excited molecule, this excited molecule enter into the S1 state. Okay, right, this S1, from this S1 state, from that S1 state, right, this is S1, okay, it is S0, right, S1 state, the molecule may return to S0, that is the ground state, singlet state, by releasing the re-emitting the energy, the excess energy in the form of light. It is called as fluorescence. Okay, and there is another possibility that this S1 to the okay, T1 state, okay, it may enter into that T1 state. Okay, right, so it is called as inter-system crossing. It is called as inter-system crossing. Okay, and there is a possibility of this T1 to S0. It is called as phosphorescence. Okay, T1 to S0 is inter-system crossing. What is inter-system crossing? Singlet systems are one system and triplet states are one system. If the electron enters from singlet state to triplet state, it is called as inter-system crossing. Okay, we will discuss all these things in a elaborate manner. Okay, so it is important to note that an activated molecule returns to the ground state by dissipating its energy in the form of radiation, okay, that is light, and in the form of heat. Okay, so the excited molecule returns to the ground state. Okay, the excited molecule returns to the ground state by. So first of all, we will discuss about radiative transitions. In this type of transitions, the activated molecule, okay, which is in S1 state, okay, or in T1 state, returns from the singlet excited state to, this is singlet excited state, to triplet state. Sorry, the activated molecules returns from the singlet excited state to singlet ground state or triplet excited state to singlet ground state by emitting the radiation, which is the excessive energy, okay, has to be released, okay, in the form of radiation. Okay, so such transitions are accompanied by the emission of radiation. The transition from S1 to S0, okay, the transition from S1 to S0 is called as fluorescence. The emission of radiation in this transition is called as fluorescence. It is shown in the diagram itself, fluorescence. Okay, so when excited molecule, singlet excited molecule returns to the ground state, singlet ground state, by emitting energy in the form of light, it is called as fluorescence. And when the excited molecule returns to the ground state from the triplet excited state to the singlet ground state by emitting radiation, okay, by releasing energy in the form of radiation, is called as phosphorescence. So fluorescence is S1 to S0 conversion and phosphorescence is T1 to S0 conversion. Okay, so when the molecule in the singlet excited state returns, so when the molecule returns from the singlet excited state to singlet ground state by emitting radiation is called as fluorescence. When the molecule returns from the excited triplet state to ground state by emitting the radiation in the form of radiation, energy in the form of radiation is called as phosphorescence. These two processes in the Jablonski diagram are radiative processes. Okay, radiative processes. And this emitted radiation is having lower frequency or higher wavelengths than the incident light. Why? Because that means it is having lesser energy. The phosphorescence and fluorescence light energy is lesser than, okay, this incident light. Okay, this is about radiative processes. And there are non-radiative processes, that is internal conversion. What is internal conversion? And another one is inter-system crossing. In non-radiative transitions, okay, that means in this non-radiative transition the excess energy is released in the form of heat. It is denoted by simply these such type of lines. Okay, so here in this type of transitions the activated molecule return from the higher excited state, okay, higher excited state, right, to the first excited state. Okay, so suppose right here I will explain the Jablonski diagram. Right, it is S0, okay, energy, increasing of energy. So here S0, I am here S0, incident of light on the molecule, it get excited to S1, S2, S3, so on. And there is a T1 which is lower in energy than S1, there is T2. So in this manner this molecule gets excited and enters into this S1 level. There is a possibility of entering into S2 and S3. If the molecule comes from S3 to S1, here it is S3 to S2, okay, or S2 to S1, right, or if the molecule it is in T2 state, it returns to the T1 state by releasing the energy in the form of heat. I am showing this mark to indicate the releasing energy in the form of heat. So if the molecule comes from this excited state S3 to S1, that is S3 to S2 or S2 to S1, it is called as internal conversion. So it is only taking place in the singlet system. Okay, if the molecule returns from T2 to T1 or T3 to T2, T2 to T1 by releasing energy in the form of heat, it is called as internal conversion. Okay, internal conversion is a non-radiative process. Radiative means light. Okay, and in another hand, there is a possibility of the molecule which comes to this S2 state, it may return to the T2 state, which is in lesser energy than S2. Okay, so the molecule which comes to this S1 state may go to this T1 state. Okay, and this S1 to T1, T2 or S1 to T1. This is singlet system. This is triplet system. Okay, this is triplet system. This is singlet system. So it is called as inter-system crossing. It is called as inter-system crossing from singlet to triplet. It is called as inter-system crossing, ISC. Okay, so if the molecule returns to S2 from S3 to S1 from S2, it is called as internal conversion. It is also T2 to T3, T2, T1, it is called as internal conversion. If the molecule comes to triplet state from the singlet state, it is called as inter-system crossing, ISC, inter-system crossing. Okay, so it can be explained in this diagram. So if the molecule comes from this to this, it is internal conversion because it is singlet system. So in this, if there is T2, it is called as internal conversion, and it is called as inter-system crossing. These are non-radiative processes. Okay. So in this type of non-radiative transitions, the activated molecule return from the higher excited state to the first excited state. Such transitions do not involve the emission of any radiation and are thus called non-radiative transitions. Okay, so the process is called internal conversion and occurs in less than 10 to the power of minus 11 seconds. Another way of losing energy by activated molecule is inter-system crossing. It involves the transitions between states of different spins, that is singlet state and triplet state. Examples of such transitions is S2 to T2, inter-system crossing, or S1 to T1, inter-system crossing. Okay, so these transitions are non-radiative. Since these transitions are non-radiative, that means they emit the energy in the form of mainly heat. Okay, these are the things about internal conversion and inter-system crossing. So internal conversion from S3 to S2 to S1 or T3, T2, T1, whereas in case of ISC it is S2 to T2 or T2 S1 to T1. Okay, this is about internal conversion, this is about inter-system crossing. Okay, next thing is fluorescence. Okay, fluorescence is a phenomena. It is instantaneous emission of radiation. Okay, instantaneous. When the molecule gets excited and comes to this ground state quickly by emitting radiation. Okay, quickly. Okay, instantaneous emission of radiation by an excited atom or molecule is called fluorescence. Okay, this process is called fluorescence, and the substance which absorb radiation and then immediately re-emit the energy in the form of radiation are called fluorescent substances. Okay, fluorescent substances. And what is phosphorescence? Okay, in the phosphorescence, what is happening? I am supplying energy in the form of light. So this molecule gets excited to S1 state, and after inter-system crossing, it comes to T1 state, and after that it emits energy in the form of heat and comes to this ground state. So it is a time-taking process. Okay, it is a time-taking process. So then, how can we define this phosphorescence? When energy is lost in the form of light, okay, in the form of light, when in T1 to S0 transition is called as phosphorescence. Okay, when energy is lost as radiation, okay, in T1 to S0 transition is called as phosphorescence. Okay, phosphorescence is a delayed fluorescence. Okay, the fluorescence stops as the external light is cut off, as soon as the external light is cut off, because it is instantaneous phenomena. Okay, whereas in case of phosphorescence, if we supply light, it takes this internal conversion, inter-system crossing. After that, phosphorescent light is emitted. So it is a delayed fluorescence. Okay, so phosphorescence can be called as delayed fluorescence. Okay, and the substances which exhibit phosphorescence are called phosphors or phosphorescent substances. Okay, right? So it is phosphorescence is from T1 to S0. It is this transition in the form of light, in the form of heat. It is about phosphorescence. So, and there are some differences between fluorescence and phosphorescence. Emission of radiation is rapid in case of fluorescence. Emission of radiation takes place slowly, okay, in case of phosphorescence. In fluorescence, it is the radiation emitted when transition between two states of same multiplicity takes place. In fluorescence, what is happening? The energy transition is from S0, S1 to S0. Okay, it is radiation emitted when transition between two states of different multiplicity, because it is T1 to S0 transition. T1 is triplet state and it is singlet state. They are different, having different multiplicity. Okay, and fluorescence, it can be observed in solutions at room temperature. Okay, fluorescence can be observed in solutions at room temperature, whereas in case of phosphorescence, it is not observed in solutions at room temperature, and phosphorescence is more intense in solids. Okay, solids only. Okay, this is about fluorescence and phosphorescence. Simply, fluorescence is an instantaneous process, phosphorescence is a delayed process. If we cut off the external source, that is light, the fluorescence stops. But after cutting off some time, after cutting off light, okay, resource, the phosphorescence can be observed. This is the main difference between fluorescence and phosphorescence. Fluorescence is a instantaneous phenomena and phosphorescence is a delayed phenomena. These are the things about Jablonski diagram. Jablonski diagram is simply a energy diagram. Okay, there is S0, S1, S2 levels T1, T2. S2 energy is higher than T2. Okay, and S1 energy is higher than T1. So T1, T2 are more stable states than S2, S1 states respectively. It is ground state. I am supplying energy. The molecule gets excited to S1 or S2. Sorry. Then it comes to the ground state by S2 to S1. There is a possibility of S1 to S0. Okay, and in the form of light, right? S1 to S0 is in the form of light, and there is this possibility, this one. These are called as inter-system crossings. Okay, it is internal conversion. It is internal conversion, right? And it is called as phosphorescence, and it is called as it is called as phosphorescence, and it is called as fluorescence. It is fluorescence, it is phosphorescence. This is about Jablonski diagram. So we have discussed what is multiplicity, what is spin multiplicity principle, and why these if the electrons are in parallel to each other, it is called as, why it is called as triplet state, why it is called as singlet state, and what is phosphorescence, what is fluorescence, what is radiative transition, what is non-radiative transition. Phosphorescence and fluorescence are radiative transitions. Okay, these are the things we have discussed in this video lecture, and thank you.